Oh. Good evening, Melrosians the world over. I'm Tom Catalini.
I'm Sam Hammer.
I'm Tom Shampoo.
And this is Let's Talk Melrose, a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose. And just like every other week in Melrose, there's lots to talk about, Tom.
Lots going on. I can't believe it. You and I both have seniors in high school. We used to have seniors in high school. Now they're graduated, moving on to the next big journey for them. So congratulations to you and all the seniors out there.
Yes, to you and to the entire class of 2021. It's a long-standing tradition, a lot of graduation things that we'll talk about later in the show, but another long-standing tradition that got some play in the media this week, rightfully so, is MMTV. And in particular, we wanted to give, Mike Miner, who works on this show and does all the magic down there, but in particular, Pat Doyle, co-executive director, who's been there for decades, really running the show, producing content, running the operation. It was nice to see this article in the Patch that interviewed both of them and got a sense of the history and the magnitude of what's happening at MMTV and the impact on the community.
And the magic that happens behind the scenes. It's important stuff.
That's right. We know all about that.
We do. We used to be in studio, live, microphones, headphones, the whole gear. It was great to be there. It felt like a magical spot.
It is magical. And as magical as the rainbow behind us, right, guys?
That's right, because it's Pride Month.
Our rainbow flag.
We're going to have Dorie Withey join us in a little bit once we get through the news segment and update everybody on all the happenings around town. So stay tuned for that. She's a commissioner, Commissioner Withey of the Human Rights Commission. That's right.
Nice. Fantastic. I have a quick question about the new Pride flag, which we have behind us here in the background.
Yes.
Apparently it's been redesigned, and so I'm curious about some of that. I'll have a question.
Great. I will have links ready to roll as Dorie talks.
Nice.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not working.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the sound effects.
Commissioner, excuse me, this is the commissioner. Please pull over.
I wonder if she can pull people over. I wonder what the
She has
full
a
powers
badge.
of the commission are. Anyway, we'll get to that. First, we have to get to the news.
Yes. Again, the news starts off with graduation this past week, prom last week, and we covered that, I think, as well. So congrats to all the graduates. And a huge thanks to the Melrose Grad Night team. Melrose Grad Night is just a phenomenal event, as you all know. This year, they had a record-breaking 218 kids register for the event. The class itself was 235 in total. And of the 218 registered, 209 attended. And of course, the goal of that evening is to help keep MHS students safe and what? This doesn't make sense. Oh, okay.
No, keep them safe on a risky night.
It's not a risky night. Keeping them safe. I think
as a general rule of thumb, we seem to be better at winging it than we are at scripting things.
Reading. What's going on? I also want to thank the Super 7 Melrose Grad Night core team who worked all year to make this happen. Michelle Carson, Nancy Brinciero, Kristen Haggerty, and more, Susan Nerden, Stephanie Catalini, Stephanie, and Joan Davis. And we also have a note from Michelle Carson, right quickly, just to add to this. Michelle wanted to make sure that we said Melrose Grad Night 2021 was built on all of the grad nights before. And so we want to give credit to the original 2014 OG team of the people who put it all the OGs who put it all together that were involved between then and now. So thank you all. It was a wonderful night. The kids had a fun time. Baby animals, you can't beat that. It was great.
Well said and well read.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
I just hope it sticks around for the next how much time do I have left? 9 years until my kids are there? No, more, no
Grad
less. I don't know. Yeah, we're
Nice.
class of 2030. So if they could just stick it out a little bit longer. that would
You
be
know,
nice.
it's not a small effort, and it's kind of a miracle that this happens. But the idea is to, you know, kids are excited to graduate from high school, and you want to go off and party and do different things. And the idea is to really keep them safe on that risky night, and contained, and give them fun, entertaining things. And the kids really do enjoy all the activities, and they're kept safe. They stay till like 5 a.m. Have you know, there's a magician. Well, I guess we're not supposed to reveal too much about the actual happenings of it, because of all the young high school students watching the show, then we spoil the surprise. But they stay overnight, and they are safe the entire time. Jen, who I think we had an action shot of her out on the
there
field,
we go.
Adorable.
did talk a little bit about it being a little bit extra challenging to, you know, monitor all the activity in an outdoor environment versus, you know, being in a building with a certain amount of fixed number of exits and entrances and so on. So the team really does tremendous work. They work hard to make sure it's engaging and fun for the kids, so that the kids have a good time and that everybody is safe. And I really hope that does continue in the future, and that in Grad Night 2031 is built on what was established you know, this year and previously.
Now, the one thing that was easier this year being outside than it was inside last year, cleaning up after the animals.
Oh, there you go.
You just got to hose that down and you're all set.
Yes. Good point. Always insightful commentary from Mr. Shampoo.
Yeah.
And, you know, I might guess by those reading abilities and that level of insight, and I don't know this, that you were in the National Honor Society, but I do know that Sam Hammer was in the National Honor Society, and she's going to give us a report.
I'm going to shout out to all of my fellow colleagues in the National Honor Society at Melrose High School who completed their service projects over the course of this cuckoo year. They made cards for healthcare workers, food drives. I'm pretending these are actual glasses they're on. They shoveled.
Congratulations.
They were tutoring and coaching young peers. They did environmental work all around town. So I'm going to put a link to all of their other projects, but congrats on, I think the color is still yellow and you kind of stand out amongst the bunch. Congrats on graduating. And oh yes, there we go. I'm going to put this up. And thank you for your service. So here's a link.
Now, are those really like your Zoom for show glasses when you know, they really zero prescription in those?
They're blue blockers. So they're actually, I call them tired blockers. So I just put them on when I am really I need to cover all of this.
You look like a 70s movie star, like you're on like Match Game or something right now.
Yes, I sort of want your autograph right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right, Tom, what's the next news item?
I'm just trying to get rid of the graphic. There we go. Next news item. I was thrilled to see this news item today. It just came across. Thanks to Karaji over at the Patch for writing this up for us. Melrose and Stoneham police departments take a major step toward mental health responses. And I think this is a phenomenal story that I'm happy to report on, or happy to read about. The departments, each of those departments will hire a mental health clinician to help improve how police respond to challenging calls related to mental health issues. It's a grant that includes $45,000 for this fiscal year and then $90,000 annually for the next 5 years for the police departments to fund that mental health expert.
A person, one person each.
I think it's one person for both departments.
Both, okay.
A mental health clinician will work with both departments and help connect residents to the assistance that they need, as well as train officers. So again, just thrilled that this is happening. I feel like I'm proud to see Melrose move toward this idea of finding a better, different way to resolve issues. There's been a lot of stories that I think, frankly, break our hearts over the years nationally, and so this feels to me like a step toward avoiding some story like that.
Yes, and I think also to add to that, just sending a person who is trained specifically in mental health responses, if that's what this person ends up actually doing. I don't know if they're going to go respond to calls or if they're going to just do the training. I don't know if the article mentions that, but we'll find out, I guess. But moving in this is like a big positive step moving in the direction of what the community has been asking for, what the state's been asking for, to support the efforts of our public safety and, protecting and serving the public. So I'm really happy to.
Yeah, it looks like direct services and training for the police. So I'm not sure that they're actually going on calls, but I mean, I think, I'm imagining there is a call and that's the type of incident, and maybe they're providing follow-up, or something like that. And it did say that the person might work, 3 days in one town and 2 days in the other, but they would be available, on call to either town at any time.
Yeah, sure.
So it's great.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's great development.
But we'll have to have them come on the show whenever whoever they are comes on board.
Yes, that would be fascinating to get into a conversation.
Oh my gosh, that would be
learn more. So another initiative happening in town. The mayor is branded it hashtag Melrose Play. So apparently there's a initiative he's putting before the council that they're going to vote on this week in order advancing equity and access to recreation in Melrose by making substantial investment in parks and infrastructure. And I don't know how much money that substantial infrastructure is. This was kind of like the PR release from the mayor's office, but it's interesting to know that. And apparently on the Broder podcast, Broder Bulletin, you can hear a more in-depth conversation on this. But there's basically 3 initiatives. One is an inclusive playground, that has accessible features. Like I live near the Lincoln School, and there are some drums, and there's a couple other things that are meant to be a little bit more accessible in different ways. And they want to have not really a dedicated playground, but a playground that has a lot more of this stuff for people of all abilities to come and play together. They want to make critical improvements to the girls' softball field on Lebanon Street, and one of my daughters played over there, and it's it's playable, but it's not on par with the other fields where a lot of the boys' athletics take place. So that's a cool investment, and I imagine that's where a significant chunk of this significant investment is going. And then a designated, you'll be happy to know about this, Tom, as you approach senior citizen age yourself, is the designated pickleball court, which apparently it's fun for all ages. It is associated with the older folks like you and me who maybe don't want such a big court and want action, but not too much action all at once, right?
I'm a shuffleboard person, so I'm not sure. Pickleball would be new. I much prefer a shuffleboard.
I don't get it. Like you just shrink, you just move into the net closer with the same size rackets, same balls.
Combination of like tennis, ping pong, and something else. And I don't know what it has to do with pickles.
Hide and seek or something. I don't know.
Hide and seek. Yes, I think that's what it is. Actually, that's the 3 elements, and mostly you have time. The way that they time a match is there's an audience member who eats a jar of gherkin pickles.
What?
And the match is over when the jar is empty. I think that's why it's called pickleball. Yes,
I've
that's
never
why it's
seen
called
it.
pickleball.
Whoever throws up
Does
first.
ESPN cover this by chance on like the Ocho? Is that
On the Ocho? Yeah. I think it's on El Nino.
Well, I think we can. Now that we have all these questions written down thoroughly from our research team, we will
naturally
hopefully get them answered very shortly by our friend Frank Oliveri at the Melrose Rec Department, because Jen is going to play some pickle Jen sports ball.
Okay, so I'm going to announce it right here, right now. I was going to save it to when Jen is back, but there is going to be an LTMM pickleball tournament to determine the champions. And so between the 4 of us, we're going to have 2 teams of 2, and we're going to see who the best pickleball players are. And we'll raise money for charity, and it'll be a great feature.
Live stream it.
We'll live stream it. We'll do the whole thing. It's going to be great. Bring your own pickle. Okay, time to move on to the next. Move on to the next story.
Speaking of bringing your own pickle, Kennedy's is reopened. I was planning on going down there tonight and doing the show from outside of Kennedy's, but we may have a hurricane. We may not. I don't know what's going on with the weather. But we love ice cream, can never have enough ice cream. So thank you, Kennedy's, for reopening. And now that we have Cloud9, Yara, we're going to have hopefully a walk-up ice cream bar on Main Street. You can't get enough. So
I got to give a shout out to Cloud9. So last night, it's in the, it's late at night. I'm busy with all kinds of things throughout the day. I'm stressing about this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you know what? I gotta get me some ice cream. So I'm gonna take a walk down to Cloud 9. So I walk down, and as I'm walking down, the door is shutting and the lights are off. The people are leaving for the day. And I look down, I stop walking. I look down at my phone, check the time. It's almost 10 o'clock. And I just kind of look defeated. The guy looks up, he goes, "Hey, you want ice cream?" And I go, I would. Yeah. If you goes back in, flicks the lights on, gets me my ice cream, and all is well in Melrose for the night.
Wow.
Nice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did you get?
Fantastic.
I got a gallon or a half gallon, whatever the big container is, of the Richardson's coffee Oreo ice cream. It was very good. Yes.
Nice. All right.
Yes. So that's why I didn't feel bad about it, because I'm like, all right, he's not flipping everything open and scooping all night. I'm just going to take the prepackaged Richardson's half gallon and I'll be on my way.
Yeah. Sorry, Jen. This is what happens when you're not around.
Oh my God. She's not supposed to watch when she's not here. It's gone off the rails. It's gone off the rails the moment she left. And we're ready. And she is. So people should know behind the scenes. The only reason we're holding it together is because she's doing all kinds of stuff when we're not on the air behind the scenes, so that we have stuff to say. We can barely read it.
We know now who the super glue is in the whole process.
We know who the super glue is. Yes. And I think Jen's going to be on my team for the pickleball tournament. Right. So.
Or you might also say the big toe of the foot. The big toe of the foot.
Yes. And you know who else is the big toe? Dorie Withey over at the Human Rights Commission is the big toe of the entire commission. And I want to find out if she has a light and a loudspeaker on her car or what's going on. So we got to bring the walk-up music and bring her on the stage.
Hey.
Hey, Dorie.
Hi, Dorie.
Hey, y'all.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
So do they call you Commissioner Withey, or what? What's the proper way to address you, Your Honor?
You know, I've never been called Commissioner Withey until tonight. Might stick after this, but they just call me.
I'll jump in because Tom's going to ask this question, I'm sure. Can we get like a Batman symbol, like Commissioner Gordon, just like shoot it up in the sky for LTMM emergencies, right? You know, the commissioner needs us. The commissioner needs us. And do what we can.
Well, we certainly need some rainbow lights in the sky.
Yes,
that's right. There you go.
So thank you for coming.
Yes.
It's great to have you. And you have put together with your fellow commissioners the Pride events for the month in Melrose. So thank you for doing that. I texted you pretty early on asking about a parade. When's the parade? But I see that we're back to kind of kicking things off at the BB estate. Can you tell us more about what to expect?
Yeah, so we're really excited. We've got 3 events actually that are coming up. So the first one is at the BB Estates. That's on Thursday, June 17th, and it'll be from about 5:45 to 7:45. And I think it's going to be great. We're having an opportunity to come together in person. It'll be outside. And so the way that we have the day structured, or the afternoon structured, is that we'll have live musical performances. We'll also have a spoken word performance as well. And then we'll have 3 different booths. So one booth will be with Follow Your Art. You'll be able to make buttons. Another booth will be with the Melrose Public Library. They'll be bringing a curated list of books and then an opportunity to also check books out. And then our last booth will be an opportunity for community members to write, what does Pride mean to you? And then we're going to take what's basically been written and bring that over to the kiosk right outside of City Hall and place it there for the remainder of the month. So that's the kickoff event at the BB Estates on the 17th. We'd love to see as many people come out as comfortable and as excited. And then we also have 2 other events that I'm happy to talk about as well.
Go ahead.
So,
yeah, please.
Great. Those 2 other events. One is on Saturday morning with Follow Your Art as well. And that particular event is going to be a community art project. So we're going to have chalk set up. You can grab a piece of chalk and you're ultimately going to be sharing what does Pride mean to you in an artistic form. And we'll be doing that right outside the middle school parking lot. So we'll have that whole front parking lot blocked off and you can literally come and share your expression of what Pride means to you. And that's going to happen from 10 a.m. to 12. And that's again on Saturday, June 19th. And then for the entire weekend, we also will be doing something called Paint Yourself Prideful. We did this last year as well. And this is where we're asking for your street, your home, businesses to show us what Pride means to you and to decorate and celebrate alongside us. Know that this year on Sunday, the 20th, I believe, we'll actually be giving, like, winners will get gift cards for those that post on Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, we have some judges that are going to be taking a look at 5 p.m. So we're excited about being able to also hand out some gift cards to those top winners.
Oh, that's cool. Who are the judges? Can you tell us, or is that not to be revealed because they might be influenced between now and then?
We are working on one commissioner as a judge, and then we have another special judge that I cannot reveal today.
Ooh, surprise.
I know.
Surprise.
It sounds so intense.
We do like to have breaking news here, but if we can't do that, that's all right.
Melrosian, who was exciting. Okay. I can't wait. I know.
So, Dorie, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, if you're interested in participating in that one, all you would need to do is send us your pictures on Facebook or on Instagram, and then we'll make sure we have it posted, and we'll take a look and do those judgments.
Nice.
Awesome. I have enough flags for the entire neighborhood, so come.
Awesome.
All right, we'll do it up. Dorie, I was just going to ask how you got involved with the Human Rights Commission.
Oh, that's a great question. When I first moved to Melrose, I learned about the Human Rights Commission and became really interested in being a part of the organization. And so I applied, ended up working alongside them for a couple of years in a just volunteer, not commissioner capacity, and then became a commissioner after having some opportunities to see a little bit more of what they did, and have loved every minute since.
Great. And how long is the term? Is it a couple years or?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's an election. Is it an election process, or is it sort of a confirmation process of some sort?
Yeah, it's an application process, and then you go and have a conversation with city councilors essentially, and then you're kind of confirmed and brought in from there.
Great.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Awesome. So, when you were applying to be a part of this, about a part of the commission, what sorts of things did you have in your vision, or what projects did you really want to work on?
You know, it's funny. I kept thinking about how do we make sure that we are talking to as many folks as possible within the community about what matters most, and how do we also ensure that we're hearing from our most marginalized in the community too, so that we can be providing equitable experiences for everyone that's here. And then as I got more and more involved, I also started getting really excited about being able to support Pride, and have been leading that event for the past 2 years alongside a few other folks on our subcommittee that are absolutely fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there one thing that you want or hope that Melrosians do, just to somehow engage in some way, or at least acknowledge in some way?
I think it would be great to have people come to the events if they feel comfortable with that. Or I think just showcasing your love and support in some form or fashion, whether that be painting yourself prideful, whether that be just sharing how you're celebrating independently. I think it's just great for us to be able to take time, pause, and really, again, be in celebration and showcase our love.
Nice. A quick story. I texted Tom and Sam and the others yesterday because I was in a grocery store, and I happened to overhear a mom walking through with her daughter, who was maybe 3 behind her, kind of walking along. And the mom happened to see a pride flag that was in the store. And she said, "Oh, I love the pride flag. Love is love." And the little girl behind her walked behind her and said, "Love is love." And I was so moved by the fact that this 3-year-old girl is hearing that, but also reciting that as her foundation for what love means. And I thought it was a fantastic acknowledgement for a little girl for what she's getting from her parents. So anyway.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. And I think, there's no better place to be than Melrose, or really this area, but Melrose is one of the most progressive, accepting, loving community for our LGBTQ family here. It's, when I first moved here, I heard of Mimi LeMay and her story, and was just astounded at all of it was a national story from a family right here in Melrose. I'm excited. There's nowhere else to go on earth. So yeah, I'm excited about this weekend.
Yeah.
It'll be good. But I know you mentioned you're waiting for your 6-year-old to get placed in, I guess, first grade, right? They're
Yeah.
coming into first grade in the public school system. Do you know, or do you have a sense of or an impact in the curriculum that happens at the school related to whether it's LGBTQ or Pride Month activities or events, or what things mean, or we talked Juneteenth is coming up. So do you have any, for LGBTQ specifically, have any insight into what's happening in our schools?
I don't in terms of what's happening with the schools right in this particular moment, but I do think that materials that students have access to every single day should be windows and mirrors, and students should be able to see themselves in those materials as well. But I think that's a great question, Sam, and I'd love to be able to learn a little bit more around what exactly are we doing in this current moment across the schools. And then in terms of a few other events too, because I think, June is such a special month on multiple levels, right? Juneteenth, as you mentioned earlier, we also have events that are coming up that we've been posting and showcasing support for as a Human Rights Commission. I would love to be able to share those for a moment too. Not only do we have things that are happening with Pride next week, goodness, but we also have the Melrose Public Library. They're hosting a virtual event on Tuesday, June 15th at 6:30 that's being presented by the Museum of African American History. I know we also posted something earlier today as well of a panel that's happening on the same day, but at 7:30 virtual with Winchester. And then finally, I know we also have a flag raising ceremony that's going to be happening within the city too on June 23rd at 7 at the Melrose Public Library. So again, just want to be able to share some of the things that are upcoming that are related to Pride and related to Juneteenth.
Awesome. Well, I took notes on our question about curriculum in the schools. We will have Superintendent Kuchenberger on next week.
Oh, great.
And so,
Right.
yes, I know. So send in whatever questions you have. Dorie will ask right away.
We can get answers next week.
I hope so. Well,
Really hope.
Oh, it's sure to be a hard-hitting interview, so everybody should tune in for that.
I haven't met her yet. I'm kind of excited.
I have not either.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
haven't either. And it's funny. So both Tom and I are now sort of departed the Melrose school system. So it's going
Officially,
to be
yeah.
interesting. So we can do a look back, a walk down memory lane, and as well as see what's up for the future. But
Right.
so Dorie, how long have you been in Melrose? You mentioned you got involved when you moved to Melrose. And
Yeah,
where'd you
so I
come
moved-
from?
Oh man, I'm originally from Florida. Go Gators! I know that Sam and I may have that in common. And then I've been in Melrose since 2015.
Nice. And what brought you to this particular town of all the places on earth?
Everywhere I could have gone. It's actually funny. So a good friend of mine who also went to the University of Florida, I used to come here every Saturday to watch football games with her, and she would always be like, you should move to Melrose. You should move to Melrose. And for a while we were like, oh, we should probably move somewhere. Maybe Melrose is great. And then we just kept coming, and we kept like experiencing the city in and of itself and fell in love with it here. And I couldn't imagine being anywhere else.
Oh my God. Who was it? Who was she, if you can say on the air?
Yeah, her name's Tara Zubrick. She doesn't live here anymore, but
Oh.
she's fantastic.
What?
And
Why did she leave Melrose?
I know.
Maybe,
How work city
maybe because real estate hit an all-time
Maybe she's-
peak and she was
maybe
able
she
to
sold her
cash
house.
in, like many people are doing around town.
You know what else is also shocking? I think Tom Kettling, I think you had walked away to do a costume change when we
Yes.
were talking about how Dorie used to live right here, right near us.
Oh, really?
Yes, and she's
Yeah.
not here anymore. She moved uptown.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah,
didn't
people
realize
do that. I like it though. I can walk to Cloud9 and they'll open the place up anytime I need an ice cream. So I got that going for me.
That's amazing.
It's good to have goals. I
Can
just
you
want
walk
to
to
add.
Kennedy's? Can you walk to Kennedy's from
Well,
your house now?
I could. It would just take longer.
Not
Yeah.
you.
Are you
Dorie,
talking to
can
me
you-
or Dorie?
I have the ability to. I just choose not to. I just want to add very quickly because it's important to say this. I also lived in Gainesville for a year. My dad won a scholarship to get his master's degree all these years ago. I was 3 years old. So he went down to University of Florida with his wife, my mom, and 4 kids. So he packed up the whole family, went down to Gainesville, lived there for a year, And then now I landed in Melrose as well. Look at that. Everyone
So
goes through
not only have I been to Disney World, but I planned an elaborate, my wife and I planned an elaborate family vacation to go to the Florida Keys, right? All the way to Key West. So we flew into Miami and we take the drive. And the whole time, all I got was anything but complaints and this iconic American drive out the Keys. Why didn't we fly there? What's this taking so long? Who decided on this? So, what are you going to do? But anyway, Florida is great. And Tom, what's that Netflix thing when I was going on that trip, you recommended Bloodline.
Bloodline,
Netflix, right?
Yeah.
I'll set in the Florida Keys. So I know what's going on down there. I've seen the show.
All right.
The chickens? Did you see the chickens? No.
I have no recollection of chickens being on this show.
Free-range chickens.
Confirm or deny.
Oh, in Key West. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I thought you talked about Netflix. I'm all confused. It's time to wrap this up. And Dorie, you're aware that we're going to dance it off at the end, right?
Oh, I can't wait.
This is the tradition of the show.
Right.
Yeah, you must have missed last week's episode. That's okay. Well, we've given you all the news and updates. We brought Dorie. Thank you for coming and speaking to the audience and for everything you're doing on the commission. We appreciate that. And to everybody out there, we'll see you around town.